Hello, friends. Welcome back to Sunday Shenanigans with me, your host, Trevor Stewart 1308. And currently in the Discord, we have the Peanut Gallery. Yeah. There. We have the Peanut Gallery here today. And Kat is in the chat. Will Kat be joining us on the Discord for the game today? We will be playing along with Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me on NPR, their weekly news quiz. So, yeah, that's always a lot of fun. But let's start today's episode with our ad read. Today's pre-rolls brought to you by The Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, Virginia, on the downtown mall, 105 West Main Street. Peanut Gallery is doing just jiffy. Peanut Gallery, I should be able to hear you now, if you want to test your mic.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt your ad read directly.
Oh, that's okay. Yep, I can hear you now. Okay, we're good there. 105 West Main Street, above the bricks, Suite 200, between 10,000 Villages and Hamiltons, where the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. A great place to go with some great buds to get some great buds, eh, bud? And they have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personal research, which might be highly biased. I'm kind of glazing the company hard. But that's because their mission is something that I can back wholeheartedly. Their mission is to provide product and a third space, a safe place for a community to develop and gather. And they provide product at such a reasonable price. I get glazed on their products. Good one. Good one, Peanut Gallery. They offer their products at a price that's reasonable enough for anybody to be able to afford them. And their facilities, their smoking lounge is, entrance fee is priced low enough that pretty much anybody can get in. They try to make it accessible. And I wholeheartedly endorse that mission, which brings up the point that we are a political show. We are a semi-political organization. You know, this company has opinions. Hidden Leaf does not necessarily have opinions. They do not necessarily share our opinions. They do not necessarily endorse our opinions. However, we wholeheartedly endorse them.
Mm-hmm.
And check website for times and events. Website is thehiddenleafseville.com. Well, all right.
I think you got all of the points there.
I think I did. Affordability, community,
Disclaimer.
limited disclaimer,
An address.
address, web address, and physical address. All right. They They don't pay me for this advertising, but they do give me free gifts. So, this hoodie specifically actually was a free gift from them.
Mm-hmm.
The hoodie behind me I paid for, which is why I didn't mind cutting the arms off of it and using it as my, late summer,
Mm-hmm.
late spring, late summer hoodie. Man, so I gotta say, I missed you guys yesterday. It was a bland show without y'all.
I am sorry for that.
It's not your fault. It's not
No,
you.
no, it's entirely the car's fault.
Right. You know? So I
But
can't.
hey,
So it's okay though. Like, I got it done. It
mm-hmm.
just I got it done and I finally stuck to some sort of time frame, like some sort of time limit. But yeah, it just didn't feel good without y'all.
Going back to doing it all by yourself without any interaction kind of sucked. It sounds like.
Also, I didn't have a script. Like when I was doing it by myself, I had a script.
This is true. This is true.
I'm
Although not having distractions that will go off on some unknown tangent probably helped keep it within the time limit.
I mean, yeah, but a bland, properly sized food is way less appealing than a very interestingly spiced food that is larger than or smaller than expected.
So yesterday was like an MRE of shows. So
Eh,
you've done those taste tests,
Yep.
and the rest of the time it's like regular food. Sometimes
Yes.
really, really good, sometimes really bad, and sometimes more than you can handle.
Yes, but at least it has flavor.
Specifically,
What
cheese
is
flavor.
okay? What's the peanut gallery saying about Blendin' Blandin'?
Well, you said it
Oh,
was bland, so I had to look up a gift that had Blendin' Blandin' from Gravity Falls.
yes, Blendin' Blandin'. Yes, that is yes. Well put. One of the best. I felt one of the best characters. Sort of, I think he only showed up twice in the show. Like he was in 2 episodes, I think.
He had speaking parts in 2, maybe 3 episodes, but he
Okay.
showed up in the background repeatedly.
Yes. Right. Exactly. And just a brilliant, funny. I really like the idea of an inept, invisible time traveler. It was a lot of fun. Gravity Falls was in many ways a perfect example of what it was. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it was perfect in that way, in that way. All right, I'm making the chart for today's game. All right, friends. Are we ready to get this rolling? Eric Idle is going to be the guest on the show today. I'm kind of excited about that.
Okay.
We can expect a lot of idle conversation.
Sounds like a flying circus to me, buddy.
Are there any snakes involved?
The sad part is I can't actually throw things at you this morning, dear.
Yeah. All right. Sound test?
Grieving when we're mourning, when we're hurting.
Yep.
I mean,
What?
it's an expression of love.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, that's wrong.
Might be wrong, but we can still hear it.
Support for this podcast and the following message come from the Southern Environmental Law Center and its
From NPR and WBEZ Chicago, this is Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR News Quiz. Yes, I'm Stentorian, but I'm so much Morian. Bill Curtis, and here is your host at the Studebaker Theater at the Fine Arts Building in Chicago, Illinois, Peter Sagal.
Thank you so much, Bill. Thank you, everybody. So great to see you. So great to have you here. We have such a great show for you today, and it is an important one to me personally. When I was a teenager many years ago, I really wanted to be funny. So I just would repeat bits from Monty Python to charm people. And it never worked for some reason. But today I get to talk to Eric Idle, one of the founders of Monty Python, somebody who might finally appreciate my version of the Dead Parrot sketch. And I do both characters.
It has ceased.
But it's first your turn to join us by giving us a call. The number is 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924. Let's welcome our first listener contestant. Hi, you're...
What?
I'm assuming that we are getting visual images in Twitch or something.
Yes. It's a static screen. This is what... let me show you what Twitch is seeing. This is what Twitch is seeing. It's not a very interesting visual. Every time I click off of Discord...
Hi, you're on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
It disappears.
Hi, this is
in
Shabbat
Discord.
from Downers Grove, Illinois.
Downers Grove, not far from here in Chicago. Some people...
See what I mean? Which is why, if you look on Twitch, what I've done is I've set it up so that we're in a different scene than the regular interview scene. We're in the Let's Watch Something, so that the visuals show up on Twitch. Does that make sense? Peanut Gallery, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Please feel free to ask questions about how this all works at any point, because I don't mind explaining, and it's kind of, I feel like it's a little helpful to the audience to understand sort of how this works.
The problem is you tell me to ask how this all works, and I start thinking about electrons.
Yes. So I found out something neat recently.
Oh.
I watched a video on why it's always rubidium. Why they...
By what?
Well, okay, so it's... whenever they're doing quantum level experiments, it's always rubidium. They always use a rubidium atom.
Right.
Like a rubidium laser or a rubidium something. Well, the reason it's always rubidium is because rubidium is in the alkali metal column, right? It's in that highly reactive column. It's between potassium and cesium.
Right.
So it's less reactive than potassium, more reactive, a little more reactive than cesium. Easier to get your hands on than cesium. Less dense than cesium. Like, even when they vaporize it, the vapor is less dense than cesium vapor.
Okay.
And it has no industrial or natural or physical use other than being good for quantum experimentation. So the reason the alkali metals are good for quantum experimentation is because they all have the same outer shell makeup as hydrogen, which you can solve the Schrödinger equations for on paper. Right. You can actually come up with the probability distribution of hydrogen using paper. Like, it doesn't require supercomputing. So everything in the alkali metals is hydrogen-like in that way. You can pretty much disregard all of the internal shells, because they cancel out mathematically.
Okay.
So potassium, this is also why they're so amazingly reactive, especially with water. Potassium and the alkalis above it are so reactive that when they vaporize, they react with glass. So that's why it's always rubidium. Good one, Peanut Gallery. What's the ATF's favorite element? Other than surprise? Cesium. I cesium, so I cesium. Applauds to you. Applauds to you. That was a good one. We are in Adbert.
Checking. Peanut Gallery. Could you hear when the voice started playing?
I did not hear anything.
All right. So in your window, click on in the Discord window, click on the thing that says stream so you can hear what's being played and said.
Oh, yeah. That will help.
Okay, where does it say stream?
So pull up your Discord window so you can see the boxes where everybody's talking.
Yep.
All right, and then there should be a fourth box that says stream. You should see your box, my box, Trevor's box, and a fourth box in the window.
Uh-huh.
Yar.
There we go.
Yarple darple.
But there's an actual picture that goes on with all this.
Yes.
There is. There is. Although, does it currently say stream is something to save resources or something?
Not on Discord, no.
Not for y'all's Discord. It says it on my Twitch.
Right.
But not y'all's Discord. Okay, well, I like that. That makes me feel better.
We can see the picture of the window you've got pulled up, and when you move the mouse around, we can see that.
Eric Idle talks Elvis impersonations and the bright side of funerals.
Yep.
It's the look on the bright side of life.
Oh.
All right.
What? On is it just being twitchy on your end?
Tetchy, tetchy, twetchy. Tetchy, tetchy, twitchy. All right. Let's get this going. We're about to meet today's panelists.
Some people here know it. What do you do there?
I am a product manager for a large financial company.
I've always wondered about this because you're a product manager for a financial company, which technically doesn't make anything. And does that ever bother you? Like you're saying, would you like to try one of our financial products, which only exist in concept?
I mean, it's definitely very convoluted. I feel like I work on a lot of stuff that people don't see. So,
yeah.
Which I guess in one way it's a little less scary. So
I know. Do you ever wish you could just like sell ties or something you could look at in your hand?
Something more tangible, yeah, definitely.
Well, welcome to the show, Shivali. Let me introduce you to our panel this week. First up, it's a staff writer in the Washington Post, where he writes the absolutely essential Style Memo newsletter. It's Shane O'Neill.
Hello, Shivali.
Hi, Shane.
Next, it's the comedian and host of the podcast Fake the Nation. You can see her in the Muslims Are Coming stand-up show in Reading, PA on October 18th. It's Negin Farsad.
Hi, Negin.
Hey there.
I love
And
Negin
you can
Farsad.
see him on season 5 of Star Trek Lower Decks, premiering October 24th, and on Mike Schur's A Man on the Inside on Netflix in November. It's Eugene Cordero.
Hi, Eugene. Hello. I love Eugene Cordero. I absolutely love him. The first place I saw him was in The Good Place as Pillboy.
I've actually seen that show.
Oh, you would really love it. I think you would really enjoy The Good Place.
I really enjoyed Lower Decks.
Yeah. And I think Miracle Workers is another one that you would enjoy. I think Good Place and Miracle Workers, they're really smart. They're really funny. They're really smart.
Miracle Workers is the one with Daniel Radcliffe as the overworked angel, right?
And Steve Buscemi. Yeah, yes. And that's only the first season. The other seasons go somewhere completely different.
But with the same cast.
Yes.
The other season still have Steve Buscemi as God?
I don't think he's God. I think it's a different...
Okay.
I don't know. I have only seen the first season of Miracle Workers. I want to catch up on it, but I've been busy. Wow, that was a conversation ender.
I think the thought of Steve Buscemi as God is kind of what did it.
What? People probably had the same reaction when they first thought of George Burns.
I mean, there's that.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. All right, back to the show.
Oh God, You Devil is still a classic.
Hello.
What was that?
Oh God, You Devil is still a classic.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Shivali, welcome to the show. You're, of course, going to play Who's Bill this time. That's how we always start our show, with Bill Curtis giving you 3 quotations that we found in the week's news. Your job, correctly identify or explain just 2 of them. Do that, you will win our prize, any voice you might choose from our show for your voicemail. Are you ready to go?
Awesome, I'm stoked.
We are. We're all stoked. Here is your first quote.
This is what happens when I drink beer.
That was one of many presidential pronouncements from somebody's media blitz this week. Who was it?
Kamala Harris.
It sounds a little awkward, so I wonder if it's Trump or Vance. or if it's Waltz, because I know Kamala Harris and Tim Waltz were going on a lot of shows this week.
Well, you said it. It was Kamala Harris. You said the name.
She said every possible answer.
Technically, you said every person running for every high office, but I wanted to stop you before you got down to the Senate candidate. So,
What was that?
I was just laughing.
I thought Peanut Gallery said something.
I was asking if it was really if it really counted, if she went through almost all the possible answers and the way to get it.
Yes, it does. Long as you get to the answer before they say it, it counts. Speaking of which, did either of you say it?
Not me. I think he did.
I said nothing.
Okay.
Well, that's certainly not the answer. Let's see if I can turn you up. Say something?
Yeah, I was just chuckling to myself of, yeah, I'm waiting for him to do something like, oh wait, he probably needs me to say something to see if this is actually functioning.
Okay, it is. I can change people's volume individually.
Yes, you can.
Yes, I had to do that in order to actually hear the stream. It was about halfway down, whereas you all were all the way up.
Wow. Oh, that's so useful. All right. Well, I've got you two turned all the way up. I don't think I can turn the stream down because I think that has an effect on what other people hear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, let's try some more.
Okay.
The mainstream media, as I'm sure you know, has been constantly complaining that Kamala Harris has not done enough interviews with them. So this week, she did a barrage of appearances with everybody but them. Harris this week appeared in the podcasts Call Me Daddy and All the Smoke, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, The View, Howard Stern, and somehow she's the next Bachelorette.
I love the fact that she's getting on, these shows where it's about getting high and basketball players and all that stuff. Just the idea that she's doing it, I'm going like, okay, you're a real person. But also, just walk through a door and I'll go, okay, you're not a ghost.
That's true. You're easy to impress.
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
She's been trying to appeal to more conservative voters in these appearances, so she's been talking about the gun she owns and bragging, quote, I have put a lot of people in jail, unquote, and, quote, I am the author of Hillbilly Elegy.
But I feel like she talked about her Glock the same way I've talked about having a tennis racket. You know what I mean? Like, I have one. It's in a closet. I've used it once in a really non-serious way.
Yeah.
And I'd like to pretend like I don't really have one.
But if somebody came to your house, you would play tennis.
I would play tennis. I will, yeah.
So it's the same. It's the same.
I don't get it. I was trying to fit in with like the salt of the earth people at Cracker Barrel, but when I started telling everyone I had a Glock, it did not go over. Not at all.
All right, Shivali, your next quote is from a scientist named Saul Newman, who in a new study proves a very popular idea is completely wrong.
People want there to be some exotic island where everything's okay, and if you eat goji berries, you're gold.
Dr. Newman says that he has now proved that, in fact, there are no special places on Earth where, due to diet or climate or anything else, people do what?
Live longer?
Live longer?
Yes, live longer. Exactly right. For decades, we have been told about these oases around the world of long life, and they're called blue zones by scientists. Places like Okinawa, Japan, and Sardinia, Italy, where demographic data shows that the population is living remarkably long and healthy lives. And it turns out, was it the secret diet? No. Was it lifestyle? No. Was it shoddy record keeping and pension fraud? It sure was.
Yep.
So it turns out all of those places reported very high average lifespans because lots and lots of people in those places were pretending their parents were still alive so they could collect their pension checks. Now, I found this very shocking, and I've heard about this my whole life. These places where people have figured out the secrets to their longevity, and that's led to all these diet and lifestyle books like The Sardinian Secret, The Flemish Fountain of Youth, The Okinawan Method of Propping Up Grandpa in a Lifelike Manner.
But also that Netflix show came out like pretty recently, and I'm so embarrassed because I have been that jerk at a cocktail party being like, you guys haven't heard of Blue Zones? Oh my gosh, this is what we should all be doing. We should be walking on stairs every day. Like literally just spewing the stuff from that documentary at cocktail parties. That's all I've been doing the last year.
Oh, and there you go. Now you have to go back to every person you talk to at those cocktail parties and tell them you were all nonsense.
Eat Cheetos all day long.
You might as well.
What I'll tell them.
I mean, it is a bummer that there's not a secret place and secret ways to like make you like a Highlander or whatever. But I would.
There can be only one.
I'm actually more intrigued now to go to Okinawa and see this Weekend at Bernie's type people. I would be amazed by being like, wow, you kept them looking alive? How'd you do it? Like, maybe their embalming is really good.
No, Okinawans are really very friendly. It's a very welcoming place. Just don't ask them if you can meet their parents. All right. Here is your last quote.
Good one.
Wearing them is no longer an easy way to see who's given up.
That was the Wall Street Journal telling us, as they often do, about the latest fashion trend, wearing what all day, even to the office?
Pajamas.
Pajamas, yes. People are wearing pajamas to work. Who hasn't wondered?
No?
Nope.
Okay. But you said it, Kat.
Yes, I said something. I said the wrong something.
You said the right something before they said it.
This is true.
You said it after I said it, but you said it, but due to lag, I think you still said it at about the same time. So.
Well, I said it before they said it, but yeah, no, my original thing was fanny packs.
Oh, yeah, no, those are never coming back in style.
They're not in style, but they're present.
Okay, so there are ways to make fanny packs stylish, but those are called belt pouches.
I mean, yes.
Or pouch belts.
Either way, they're not neon green, usually.
And they're also, not nylon.
Right.
They're usually leather.
I'm still seeing those.
What?
But I am still seeing the nylon, neon color.
Oh, yeah.
Wild color. They're still here. It's not that they're back in fashion. Even the spurious late 80s, early 90s type of fashion. They're just still present.
I mean, I get how freaking useful they are. I get it. And if you're going for like a neon something postmodern look, modernist or postmodernist look, it works. But oh, good glob, I find them ugly.
Well, they were made in the late 80s, early 90s. And personally, I'd rather see late 80s, early 90s trash on someone's hip than in the ocean.
Okay, there's that.
You have a point, my friend. You have a point. And it's not on top of your head.
But I got two of those.
Yeah, but they're busy trying to balance out the pretend halo.
So what you're saying is you're a horny angel.
I never said I was an angel.
No.
It was a pretend halo.
Right. Let's get back to the show.
Okay.
What their coworkers wear to bed. Trick question, sickos. You should never think that. But soon, according to the Journal, it will be impossible not to know as more people are wearing their sleepwear out and about. Don't mind if I do, commented the Sleeps Naked contingent.
I'm sorry, this is not new. Like, there was a whole squadron of girls in high school that we all called, like, the Cookie Monster Fleece Pants girls. It's an archetype, and if you are a bullied gay teen, all you have to do is get right with the Cookie Monster Fleece Pajama girls, and they will defend you until they die.
Yeah, they will.
Really?
Yes. It's like the universal, I guess, you know, if this trend does widen, look for the fleece Cookie Monster bottoms. Those girls decide if you live or die.
Wow. Life lessons,
Like,
ladies and
they
gentlemen,
are
from Shane
ride
O'Neill.
or
We should
die.
note, by the
Once
way,
they're
before
on
everybody
your
gets too
side.
excited, that all the people pushing this and all the people photographed in the journal, they're either models or they're actresses or they're fashion influencers. That is, they're very good-looking people.
Oh, so they're not going to work.
Well,
Yeah.
Bill,
you,
how did
Eugene.
Shivali do in our quiz?
She's putting on her pajamas right now because she won all three.
Exactly. The winner. You went to work. Well done, Shivali.
Working for you.
Right now, panel, it is time for you to answer some questions about this week's news. Nagin, couples therapy isn't just for couples anymore. The latest trend is who going to get couples therapy together?
Oh, thruples.
Parents and children.
By couple, I mean two people at once who are related, but, you know, not in that way.
Oh, siblings.
Yes, couples therapy for siblings is now a thing.
Why don't they just call it sibling therapy?
I guess they could.
Yeah.
Well, if we called it that in this context, you would have known the answer.
They don't just call it
couples
sibling
therapy, as we
because
know,
it
is
was
for
made in
couples trying to work
Alabama.
out.
What?
They don't call it sibling therapy because it was made in Alabama.
Oh, that's rude.
Terrible, I know.
I mean, I'm going to hell for laughing at that. But I'm not the one who said it.
This is true. That only means that you're not the one driving the bus.
You know, at least not this time.
Right.
We have ad coming up in 2.5 minutes or so.
You know, if we take that to the next logical step, that means that whenever one of us says something really terrible and everyone else is like, I didn't say it, but I'm laughing, I'm going with you. That's when we have the switch off on who's driving the bus.
Yes. Yes.
So we have the unfortunately named Chinese fire drill every time someone else says a bad joke.
Yes.
And you're driving the bus again.
Yep. He's still driving.
We need a bus driver's hat to pass around.
All right, we need
I
to
would
put that
agree with
as
you
a
except for the
badge on
fact that my mom
Discord.
never wore one.
What?
So I would agree about the bus driver's hat, but my mom never wore one, and she'd be one of the lead people driving.
And what did you say, Peanut Gallery?
I said you just need to make it a badge on Discord that gets passed around every now and then.
You know, actually,
That works.
if we could do that somehow. Yeah. If I can, yeah. We'll look into it. Let's look into that.
Shoot, just find a basket emoji and tag people with it. That works.
Yeah. That's true, too.
Where are we going? Why is it put warm and why am I in this basket?
Yep.
Who's driving this basket anyway? Oh, God.
Whoever's
No.
carrying it currently.
Right. We're a little over half a minute until incoming ad break. Which makes me think that we're at about a minute from the actual ad break.
Mm-hmm.
I find it interesting how this works, how this sort of lags around.
Mm-hmm.
And we should be an ad break in about... Sorry about that, folks. I thought I heard Jen talking to the cats. I wanted to listen to make sure that they didn't need yelling at. Because if somebody has to yell at the cats and be the disciplinarian, I'd rather it be me than her. I want them to like her.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I thought there was only one.
We're fostering a couple of new kittens.
Ah.
Yep. Well, yeah, we're fostering a couple of kittens. A friend's family member is allergic to them. So while the friend is staying with their family members, we're fostering the kittens for them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know. That's the sort of situation that usually just turns into me having 2 new kittens. Which I would also be just fine with.
Mm-hmm.
Gandalf and the kittens... Gandalf, it's taken him several days to not be actively growling at and hunting them. And they seem to be getting along better. They seem to be playing some. And he has almost completely abandoned spending time with me in the last 24 hours. So, I think he likes them. Well, not abandoning me like that. Just for some new friends. Shiny new friends. Yeah. I didn't get my morning cuddles. I'm a little... Yeah. Hi, friends. Welcome back. Last 4 days, however long, Gandalf has been all sorts of needy because of the kittens, because we're fostering the kittens. He's been like, tell me you still love me. Tell me you still love me. And then as soon as he like starts getting along with him, he's like, deuces. Would you like to turn this knife before you take it out of my back, Gandalf?
Oh, definitely.
But you know what they say. Cat's gonna cat. All right. Back to the game.
Differences, and as we all know, siblings often have differences too, so why not them? But if your session starts with your brother saying our sex life is in a rut, you don't need couples therapy, you need real therapy now.
I mean, it seems healthy to me. It's like if you're having trouble with your sibling and you go to therapy, then the two of you, when things get too intense, you can just get back to making fun of your parents, which is the best, most bonding
That's
thing
why
you
you.
can
That's
do.
why you have siblings.
Obviously.
But I don't get it because also, if my parents couldn't make it work between me and my sister, how is a stranger going to do it? Because I don't listen to my parents when they tell me that my sister was right, so I'm not going to listen to some suit do it either.
Well, the difference is the therapist will be objective and unbiased when your parents loved your sister more.
You're right.
Oh boy.
Oh, this is gonna get me content flagged. This is gonna, if we don't talk over this song, this is gonna be considered copyright strike. Well, not strike, just a copyright claim.
Coming up, you won't be Mattio at our Bluff the Listener game. Call 1-888-WAIT-WAIT to play. We'll be back in a minute with more Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me from NPR. This message comes from Grammarly. The work get more done.
So the Cracks business card. What's in your wallet?
Dedicated to providing on a new system.
I'm Bill Curtis. We are playing this week.
What?
I said, no, it doesn't. Grammarly changed awful quick.
Right. So this will be an interesting experiment to see, because I'm pretty sure that is not, that last one isn't what you'd call public domain. But I talked over it. So it will be interesting to see if and if they do another non-public domain song, try talking over it, and it'll be interesting to see if this gets flagged for
Question.
Content. Yeah.
Question out of legal curiosity. I thought it was still anything less than 15 or 10 seconds was considered fair use.
3 seconds.
3 seconds.
3 seconds is what I'm aware of. Huh?
So it varies by the song.
Oh, that's true too, because, you know, dun 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 dun.
Right.
You know.
There's some songs and some people that are so litigious that you get like 3 beats and that's it.
And
there's some that don't care enough. Yeah.
Or there might be different rules for using it in a remix in an artistic setting, such as the opening of Under Pressure being used for Ice Ice Baby.
Right.
Versus that opening being used in the background of someone else, of a video or something, or someone else's content, but not necessarily a parody and or remake of that.
Right. It's an interesting area of law. It can get kind of complicated. You know,
it's a legal gray area that makes a lot of people see red.
Yes, it is. That is very true.
Other people just see green.
That is true too. I don't know if I've told the audience or if I've told y'all, but in a previous life, I worked at a intellectual property law office downtown in Charlottesville. A place called Parker and DeStefano. Right, there it was. Yes, Parker and DeStefano, intellectual property law. And this is the law office that Okay, so this one time at Rocky Horror Picture Show, everybody in Charlottesville drink. There is a drinking game in Charlottesville. I don't entirely know if I've explained this actually on stream. Anytime I bring up that time at Rocky Horror Picture Show that I took off all of my clothes, everybody in Charlottesville's supposed to drink. So at this law office, one of my high school friends worked there. She was the daughter of the lawyer that the lawyer that ran the place, and his ex-wife, who was like the head paralegal. And she was the office manager, this friend of mine. And so a little ways out of high school, she needed a coffee and bend over boy for the, a file clerk, really, but also coffee and bend over boy. Now, in between this time when she asked me to come be the coffee and bend over boy and when we graduated high school was the infamous Rocky Horror Picture Show incident. And she brought her family and their colleague from work.
Her family.
And I didn't think about it. Nah, I'm good. I don't feel the need to do Rocky Horror ever again. They're not gonna live up to what I've already done. I've hit my Rocky Horror high water mark.
So if you do it from now on, it's just going to be Rocky.
Yes. It would be a picture show, I'm sure, but boy, would it be Rocky. Also, I don't feel the need to do Rocky Horror Picture Show in a time when cameras are ubiquitous. No.
No.
Those pictures of me do not need to be in the universe. Thank you. So, yeah, I was that night, I was out front greeting people, and meeting them and because I was also playing Dr. Frankenfurter. I was, the star of the show that season, and it was the last show of the season. And so my high school friend brings her family, who I know is cool because she's been like, oh yeah, we did Rocky Horror when I was a kid, and they're just hippies, they're cool, and da-da-da-da-da. And so when I met them, it was all like, oh, okay, this is chill. Flash forward to a few years later, and I'm not thinking about that, and I get this job, and, I'm, like, working in the office. At some point, I am filing, and they needed some filing caught up on bad when I got there, so that was my job most of the time. I was bent over a file drawer that was pulled out, and I was all the way in the back of the drawer putting files in and rearranging, and I was face down, butt up. And from behind me, I hear a voice, a deep voice that I do not recognize, go, I'd recognize that butt anywhere. I saw it at Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I slam my head on the top of the thing as I'm pulling it up. I spin around. I'm looking at somebody I do not know at all. Behind him, the lawyer, his ex-wife, the office manager, and the other lawyer in the office, their work colleague, are all laughing behind their hands. And I said, that wasn't me, that was my evil twin out to ruin my reputation.
Uh-huh.
It was just the first thing I could think of.
I get the feeling that this person who you did not recognize was put up to it by the other three.
Yup. Oh, and the work colleague was a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, I realized everyone working in that office had seen me naked.
Oh, when you put it all out there.
Hey, lockpick. Perfect time to come in.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was working at a law office. And yeah, everybody in the office had seen me naked at Rocky Horror Picture Show. So what's really funny about this? Darth Dragonis was there that night. He'd been told by a friend to go that they'd get to see some boobas.
Uh-huh.
They did. They saw my perky little A cups.
Uh-huh.
And everything else. I did the strip show, the strip dance, to You Can Keep Your Hat On from the Full Monty soundtrack. And I was in this bar mitzvah band white, off-white sort of suit. I think black pants, but the jacket and the shirt and even the tie. And I had a cane and a top hat. And I had choreographed this dance. I knew what I was doing. I hit my beats. And everything but the top hat had come off. Like I was facing the other direction when the last article came off. I was facing away from the crowd, top hat on top of my head. I turned around and faced the crowd, took the top hat off of my head took the top hat off, put it over my groin, turned around, faced the crowd, took it off, put everything out there, and put my hat on top of my head and just stood there for, it felt like an eternity. But the guy in the booth who had been running the spotlight told me it was 7 seconds. He gave me 7 seconds before he shut off the spotlight. It took him 5 seconds to realize that I had what I'd just done. It took him like 3 to 5 seconds to realize that. And another few seconds before he was like, oh, I should turn this off eventually.
Yeah.
Which was great because exiting the stage was the only part I hadn't planned.
Right? I'm going to do this thing, and how do I get away with it?
Right? So then I booked it off stage, ran into the men's room, put on my Dr. Frankenfurter outfit, and made it back just in time for my opening number. I mean, it was a show.
It was a show.
This was also the time that I found out that I don't get drunk on ouzo.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
No, I'm not so sure. I think it's quite fine. I drank pretty much an entire bottle of ouzo to steady my nerves before I did this. And it did nothing. And I went through the entire show, the entire, almost 2-hour show, with a little bit of after show. And then I had a shot of whiskey, I think. And it was the shot of whiskey that activated the ouzo.
Ah.
And I was
That or maybe your
plastered.
anxiety.
Huh?
So that or maybe you finally hit a point where...
Well, no, I tested this later.
Oh, okay.
I tested this later, and I drank ouzo. I drank ouzo without drinking something else. Didn't feel it. Drank ouzo. Drank something else. Felt it. And it was like, oh, okay. This is a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't understand it. It's like, certain alcohols make certain people fighty. Other alcohols don't,
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. And at this point, it could be psychosomatic, attic insane.
Mm.
All right, we are about to go back into ad break.
You're having these tangents in all the wrong times.
Huh?
We're having the tangents in all the wrong times.
Right? Well, no, that tangent started in an ad break and went all the way through a segment and into the other ad break. Well, almost all the way into the other ad break. I mean, we're not on the same tangent at the moment.
In other words, we're making up for the tangents that were lost yesterday.
Yes. What do you call... Ah, there it is. Okay. What do you call talking about a ray that emanates out of a circle?
A tangent.
Tangential conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That works.
While we're in ad break, I can actually record that.
You can record that.
I can record that joke.
So is now the time to practice yodeling?
Yodel-eedle, yodel-yodel-eedle. What do you call a conversation about a ray emanating from a circle? Tangential conversation. There we go. I can post that. I can post that while I'm waiting for this to do its thing later. Hi, friends. Welcome back from ad break. Let's do what we're supposed to be doing and get into the show.
Yes.
With Eugene Cordero, Shane O'Neill, and Nagin Farsad. And here again is your host.
Yes. That's
And that's Studebaker
Eugene
Theater
Pillboy
in
Cordero.
Chicago, Illinois, Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you all so much. Right now, it is time for the Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me Bluff the listener game. Call 1-888-WAIT-WAIT to play our game in the air, or check out the pinned post on our Instagram page at WaitWaitNPR. Hi, you're on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi, Peter. It's Glenn Strawn.
Hey, Glenn Strawn. How are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Annapolis, Maryland.
Oh, great. Annapolis, capital of Maryland. What do you do there?
I work for an international organization named Chicago, whose goal is to save the lives of women and babies at birth.
Oh, wow.
Well,
that is excellent work.
Pretty cool.
Do you know if any babies out there are named after you?
No, none.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Well, Glenn, it's great to have you with us. You're going to play the game in which you must try to tell truth from
Said
fiction.
like a guy
Well, what
who
is
doesn't
Glenn's
like
topic?
his name.
Hey there,
Mhm.
Daddy-O.
The word daddy-o popped up prominently in the news this week, and not just because of Kamala Harris's appearance on the podcast Call Her Daddy-O. Our panelists are going to tell you the real
Forgot
reason
about that.
that word came up. Pick the one who's telling the truth, and you'll win our prize, the Wait Waiter of your choice on your voicemail. You ready to play?
Yes, I am.
All right. First, let's hear from Eugene Cordero.
When the in-flight entertainment system broke down on a flight from Sydney to Tokyo, it made it impossible for individuals to control their screens. So, in a stunning show of cooperation, a group of passengers chose a movie for the entire plane to watch all together. The movie they chose was Daddy-O. For those of us who haven't seen Daddy-O, which is everyone on Earth who wasn't on that plane, it's a 2023 film starring Sean Penn and Dakota Johnson that takes place entirely in a taxi cab and somehow manages to feature full frontal female and male nudity. How does this happen? Was the only other choice Despicable Me 4, and everyone who voted had already seen it? Did Inside Out 2 sound too sexual? Who would have thought that raw dogging on a flight is a safer option?
The passengers on a long flight, because of a malfunction, all ended up watching the same movie, Daddy-O, much to most people's dismay. Your next Daddy-O dispatch comes from Negin Farsad.
Dave Pearson is a stay-at-home dad in Park Slope, Brooklyn, where New York City keeps helicopter parents who sign their kids up for trapeze and feminist zine-building workshops. Dave was always looking for healthy snacks for his two kids, Eleanor and Henry, because if you live in Park Slope, your kids were named off of a 1940s name registry. So he created his own cereal, which he called Daddy-O's, the dad joke version of Cheerios. And like Cheerios, they tasted rather bland, but unlike Cheerios, they were made from nuts, seeds, and flavored with your imagination. But one day, a video circulated among Brooklyn parents. Daddy-O's had been featured on the OnlyFans page Hot Deliveries. In the video, a hot Instacart lady delivers the cereal to a hot client. They sexily unbox the snack in what turns into a rather steamy, albeit highly nutritious, porn delivery scene. Disappointed, Dave ends up changing the name of his cereal to Nutties, and the rest of us are just waiting for him to see the problem with that name.
A Park Slope dad invents Daddy-O's, his version of Cheerios, and then things get unintentionally sexy. Your last story of Daddy-O drama comes from Shane O'Neill.
Not.
Diadio's, an Italian restaurant in San Antonio, Texas, had been the pride and joy of the Diadio family since they immigrated from Italy in 1976. But when owner Joseph Diadio fell on hard times after an ill-advised investment in crypto, he sold his family's restaurant to a venture capital firm that rebranded Diadio's as Daddy-O's, a vaguely nostalgic and very loud diner. Once, the menu had Sunday sauce that marinated for hours, sopped up with crusty bread baked from a closely guarded secret family recipe. Now, you could order the Elvis Presley Ain't Nothing But a Hot Dog platter with your choice of Jackie Onion rings or Joan Crawford's Hush Hush Puppies Sweet Charlotte. This was all news to Joseph's grandfather, Vittorio, who paid a surprise visit to the restaurant during a day trip from his nearby nursing home.
Oh.
This doesn't even make sense, he said. Is this supposed to be the 1950s or the 1960s? Jackie Kennedy didn't marry Aristotle Onassis until 1968. And does anyone remember the movie Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte besides gay film buffs?
All right, Daddy-O's
my.
popped up in
Wait
the
a
news
second.
this week.
3.
But what did
One.
that word refer to? Was it from Eugene Cordero, a movie called Daddy-O, which the passengers on a long flight inexplicably decided to watch all of them? Or
I'm going with
from
A.
Negin Farsad, Daddy-O's the breakfast cereal that took off when a Park Slope dad invented it? Or from Shane O'Neill,
sticking
how
with C?
Daddy-O's, the classic
A.
Italian place,
Yep.
become Daddy-O's, the retro
Okay.
diner, much to the dismay
Cat
of the
says
family
A,
patriarch,
Peanut Gallery
which was the
says
real
C,
story we
I
found in the
say
news this
A.
week.
Well, Peter, I did read about this, and I'm going to go with Eugene.
You're gonna
Story
go-
number 1.
Yes. Okay, well then your choice is going to be Eugene's story. To find out the correct answer, we spoke to a reporter covering the real story.
After passengers complained about Daddy-O, they switched it to a family-friendly movie.
Yeah, that was Mary Kate Carr of the AV Club talking about the in-flight Daddy-O debacle. Congratulations, Glenn. You have earned a point for Eugene simply by telling the truth, and you have won our game.
Did you know that because you knew the article? Because, like, you knew the situation? Or was it a guess? Or was it based on knowing that Daddy-O exists as a movie like I did it?
It was based on knowing that there had been a flight where everybody was stuck watching the same movie recently.
So
Not knowing exactly which movie, but knowing that they'd been stuck with a movie.
So you came to it from the other direction that I did.
Yeah.
You knew the news story, you just didn't know it was Daddy-O. I knew Daddy-O, I just didn't know it was the news story. And extrapolation.
Back in my day, if there was an in-flight movie, it was just the one in-flight movie. You didn't have a choice. You might have the choice of earphones, otherwise it played over the loudspeaker.
And Grandpa Peanut is just weighed in with his views on the topic.
Oh, okay. We need a Grandpa Peanut design for the Peanut Gallery. Okay, so here's the thing. For your Discord badge or your Discord logo, we should do a couple of peanuts as different things, like Grandpa Peanut that just weighed in, Sarcasta Peanut,
And a peanut driving a bus.
with a bus driver's hat. Yeah. A peanut bus driver. And then just one down in the front that looks like the Peanut Gallery.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would look really good on a snapback hat.
That probably would.
A little, and with like this a circle and a logo underneath it, or a lettering underneath it that says the Peanut Gallery. Just the Peanut Gallery hat.
The one problem with this nickname you gave me is, you can call me Peanut Gallery, but you can never shorten it to the initials, because I definitely am not PG.
No, but I can call you P to the Nutty.
I don't think I have enough baby oil for that one.
Ooh.
Oh! Leaving aside the fact it wouldn't be baby oil, it'd be peanut oil.
How do you get Never mind. Never mind. Nope. We're leaving that there. Nope. Nope. No. Because my imagination just keeps coming up with, and no.
Glad to hear you missed us.
Oh, yeah. I'm not nearly as funny without y'all. Making a note of Peanut Gallery logo. So that hopefully remember to design one. All right, back to the show so that I don't think of oil extraction.
Game, you get the voice of your choice in your answering machine. Well done, sir.
Thank you very much.
Take care, Glenn, and congratulations on the very good work you do. Bye-bye.
Okay, so
Now the game where we ask people about things they know nothing about. It's called Not My Job. Eric Idle is one of the founders of Monty Python's Flying Circus, the most influential sketch comedy show ever made. And he's also the creator of Spamalot, the hit musical based on the film Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Now, Eric
He
Idle
has just
done a
published
whole
a
bunch
book
of other
about the
stuff as
making
well.
of that musical, and he joins us now. Eric Idle, welcome to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Thank you very much.
It is such... I'm just going to put it this way. It's a lifelong dream to talk to you. In fact, when we first spoke earlier this week, you called me and I picked up the phone and you said, "Hi, it's Eric Idle," and I became completely incapable of human speech. And I was wondering, does that happen to you a lot? Because there are a lot of people like me.
Well, not really. I mean, you know, human speech. But thank you. It's very nice to be back in Chicago, where Spamalot started.
Yes, it's true. Spamalot, you had your what they call the out-of-town tryouts here. It's very exciting.
We certainly did, yes.
Did you enjoy your time in Chicago?
I loved my time in Chicago. I'm married to a Chicago woman, and I have lots of Chicago relatives. So I'm very, you know, I love Chicago.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's really great. It's a good town.
That's brave.
And let me put it this way.
man.
When you walk the streets of Chicago, we're a very cool, sophisticated place, I know, but do people recognize you and go nuts because they, like me, were Monty Python fans growing up?
Yes, sadly, they do, but there's very little you can say. I mean, people come up and start reciting a sketch at you that you can't say, well, how are you too? You know, I mean, they sort of remove the possibility of conversation.
Right. So you just have to stand there and nod while they do the whole, like, nudge, nudge, wink, wink thing, for example.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly so.
Is that hellish, or do you just sort of accept that as the price of fame?
It's fine. I mean, I'm glad that the nice thing about being a comedian is if people recognize you, they tend to laugh because they remember you in some silly costume, usually drag or something, you know. So it's not unpleasant. It's not like rock and roll. They don't try and kill you or anything, you know.
In addition to knowing all these rock and roll bands in the 70s, we've also heard stories that you, either as yourself as a group, used to throw these pretty legendary parties. Is that true?
I've always enjoyed it. We always had some good parties because you know, I like to play music, and we always have sing-alongs and ding-dongs, and we still do that.
Right. We heard once that, like, you threw a party in the late 70s and the cast of Star Wars, which was filming at the time, came over.
Well, Carrie Fisher rented my house in London for filming The Empire Strikes Back. And they were very depressed, and Harrison Ford, they'd been in England for a long time. They were depressed.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Let's back that up just a second. Carrie Fisher rented Eric Idle's house in London. This makes me think Carrie Fisher was coming off of that Blues Brothers money.
Mm-hmm.
Because she had a brief part in Blues Brothers.
I remember. She held a shotgun very well.
It was an AK, I think.
Either way.
It was a big, and a rocket launcher. She fired a rocket launcher at him at one point. But it's just more proof that Princess Leia was just not a good shot.
Apparently better than the Stormtrooper.
I mean, yes. And she got better. She got better after. Like, so, yeah, well, people should go watch Blues Brothers for themselves. There are many, 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 many Easter eggs in Blues Brothers. Some of them in a mall scene.
Yes.
In Blues Brothers. Where they crash through a Pier 1 Imports. In Blues Brothers. You think they're getting the hint that I'm dropping, that this is going to be one of the next round of questions, next level of questions?
Probably not.
Okay.
See, you keep on saying Blues Brothers, and I have this terrible mashup that has randomly appeared in my head, and it is absolutely terrible.
No.
It's 106 miles to Alderaan. We've got a half a pack of death sticks. It's dark outside, and we're both wearing sunglasses. Oh, no.
Nope.
Oh.
Where's the
Blues Brothers.
I want to see this. I want to see this. Somebody needs to make this mashup. Blues Clues Brothers. Nice.
At that point, would it be a mission from God, or would they walk around holding a giant blue paw print saying, "We have a clue from God"?
We've got a clue from God. Oh my God. That's painful.
I'm sorry. I had to share.
Yeah. We're going to get on with the show, and we're going to snooze these ad breaks, a couple of ad breaks, just so we can make some time on the show.
Okay.
All right.
So I pulled out a special liquor we bought from Tunisia, and the party started, and by chance the Stones were around the corner in Abbey Road, and they all came round, and this party went on all night. And they were finally picked up by their cars at 6 o'clock, and we all went off to bed, and I'm happy to say I ruined one of the scenes in Star Wars.
Do you know which scene you ruined and how you ruined it?
Well, because they stayed up all night. They blame me. I mean, they're adults, you know.
Right.
But so it was a scene where they meet Billy D. Williams, and they come off the plane, and they, Carrie says, "Hi," and they're all completely high. They've been up all night. And having a good...
That is an amazing bit of Star Wars lore, and I don't know if everybody knows it. That is amazing. Well, speaking of musicians, the Stones came by to your party. I also, again, for the first time, found out, was it true that Elvis Presley was a big fan of yours?
Yeah, yes, and I found that out quite surprisingly in one of the books. He called everybody Squire after my Nudge Nudge sketch.
No, he did not.
Oh, wow.
Yes, he did. And he was a huge fan. And I met Linda Thompson, who was his girlfriend, and she said at night in Memphis, when the television stopped about 2:30 in the morning, Elvis would make her do Monty Python sketches with him. And not just anyone. She'd go, "Hello, Mrs. Thing. Hello, Mrs. Entity." And I said, "Well, no, I don't believe you." And she convinced me finally that because she knew the words.
Could that be
Okay.
what Elvis was doing the night he died? Because you
I
take
think it's a little harsh to blame us for that.
No, but I mean, if you take a tour of Graceland, and I have, they're very cagey about what he was doing the night he died. They won't tell you, and maybe it was that. Maybe he was,
He was doing.
just sort of.
I think he was quite healthy, sitting up in bed doing sketches with Linda.
I think so. I want to talk to you about the musical, of course, which went on to be a huge hit and won Tonys and then was revived and won Tonys again. You had always been a musician. In fact, you wrote. I don't know if this is your first big hit of a
Eric
song, but
Idle.
"Always Look on the Bright Side of Life," from the end of Life of Brian.
This is Eric Idle, a member of Monty Python's Flying Circus, and they were asking him about finding out that Elvis was actually a fan of his sketches, and yeah, Eric Idle was one of the members of Monty Python's Flying Circus that didn't turn out to be problematic. John Cleese is not so okay.
I did not know.
Yeah, you start to see it if you look. Especially if you look at Faulty Towers, you start to see that he doesn't punch up, he punches down. Yeah. All right. We are going to dismiss these. We're going to snooze these ads again. We're going back to the show. We're just trying to get through this. All right.
We heard that is, at least at one time, was the #1 song played at funerals in the UK.
I'm proud to say that it still is. It's been that for 20 years.
Really?
And, yes. I'm happy to say it replaced My Way.
Oh, that is good.
Yes.
I think, that is definitely improved.
Yes.
I mean,
Good, isn't it?
have you ever?
And I like it.
Have you ever been to a funeral and all of a sudden the choir starts, it's like, always look on. They start doing it in harmony?
No, they play the record, I'm happy to say, but unfortunately, they don't pay royalties.
Right. Funerals don't pay royalties?
They don't. I think it's wrong, quite wrong. But still,
No, I don't. I think that's okay.
Well, Eric Idle,
I think it's
it
fine
is a
that
huge
they
honor
don't
for me,
pay
especially to
royalties.
talk to you, and a pleasure to have you here. And we have invited you here to play a game that we're calling
Spam, 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 and spam.
Now.
Spam.
As I'm sure you know, it was that famous
spam.
Monty Python spam skit that is responsible
spam
for the
cookbook.
fact that unwanted email advertisements is called spam. But we wanted to know, even if you knew that, we wanted to know if you knew anything about spam email. So we're going to ask you 3 questions about it. Answer 2 right, and you will win our prize for one of our listeners, the voice of anyone they might choose for their voicemail. Bill, who is Eric Idle playing for?
Andy Hill of Boston, Massachusetts.
All right, you ready for this?
yes.
All right. Here's your first question. The first genuine mass advertisement that people called spam went out to the users of Usenet, a precursor to the internet, in 1994. What did it advertise? A then unknown new TV series called Friends. B, a new canned meat product called Spam Plus. Or C, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
I would say Spam Plus.
Spam Plus. You think that Hormel, the manufacturer of Spam, which, by the way, has embraced Monty Python and spam.
Perhaps not. Could it be Friends?
Well, that would be an interesting way of advertising a brand new television show on something called Usenet.
Yes. So that leaves us with Jesus Christ then.
It does. So in many situations
Did you say
in life,
Jesus Christ? Did either of
all
you
you're
say
left
that?
with is Jesus Christ. Yes, the message was headed global alert for all.
What?
I said not necessarily an answer to the question.
Oh, okay. Do you want the point?
No.
Okay. You want to play Phasmo, Inc? You always want to play Phasmo.
Is coming soon. And it was sent to the hundreds of thousands of people who were on Usenet at the time, so not only was it annoying, it was also incorrect.
So far, anyway.
So far, yes. Well, it said soon in 1994. I think we can say that it was inaccurate. Okay. Here's your next question. Now, one of the odd things about spam is while that everybody hates it, and they really hate the people who send it out,
almost made it
doesn't
Jesus
make
is coming
the
soon
advertisers
really
themselves a lot of money. One study showed that you would make more money and suffer less social disapproval if you did which of these? A, dined and dashed once a month. B, played saxophone in a subway car. Or C, stole a car.
I would say stole a car.
Yes, that's right, stealing a car. People don't like car thieves, it's true, but at least you could sell the car and make some money. All right, here's your last question. One of the most notorious spammers ever was a man named Alan Ralsky, who was actually convicted of fraud for sending out all those spam emails. Before that, though, he had another punishment. What? A, he fell for a spammer himself and ended up sending all the money he had to a fake prince. B, he typed so many fake emails that his fingers all broke. Or C, people found his physical address and signed him up for every piece of junk mail they could find, resulting in him getting thousands and thousands of magazines and pamphlets every day.
You said C?
I would say C.
You're right again. Bill, how did Eric Idle do in our quiz?
Well, he woke up on the better side of life because he got all right.
Congratulations, Eric.
Thank you very much.
Eric Idle is one of the founders of Monty Python. He is also the Tony-winning creator of Spamalot and the author of the new Spamalot Diaries, out now. Eric Idle, an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
I have to say,
Thank you so much. Take care.
I have to say, good luck with that. Like, I have pretty good luck with OBS, but I can't.
In just a minute, Bill offers you a delicious smoothie to either drink or rub under your arm.
I don't
It's
know.
your choice.
Like,
it's the Listener
it is,
Limerick Challenge. Call 1-888-WAIT-WAIT to join us on the air. We'll be back in a minute with more of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me from NPR.
This message comes from NPR sponsor Capella University. With their game-changing FlexPath learning format, Capella empowers you to fit education into your life without putting other priorities on hold. FlexPath lets you set your own deadlines and adjust them if something comes up. And depending on your schedule, you can take courses at your own speed and move on to the next one when you're ready. Imagine how a flexible program can make a difference in your life at capella.edu.
Yeah, you can.
This message comes from EasyCater, a platform where organizations can order food for meetings and events from favorite restaurants
I know it's not
nationwide,
what they
with
said,
tools
but I
to help
could've
meet
sworn that
dietary
when
needs, stay on budget,
advertising
and manage food spend.
Capella
Learn more at
University.
easycater.com. This message comes from
Hazelnut
HubSpot.
chocolate spread
Growing a
university.
business means a lot of audience attracting, lead scoring, and long days. But with HubSpot, it's easier than ever for marketers to remix content, boost leads, and score customers fast. Learn more at HubSpot.com/marketers.
From NPR and WBEZ.
Well, okay, see.
Right.
Okay, it is. It's / commercial. And we can do it when ads are getting ready to pop up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where is it? Forgetting which monitor things default to. That sounds
Yeah.
like an interesting problem to be working out.
Yeah. Well, okay. Who's got a tangent for us to talk about?
I don't know. You're gonna have to go find a tangerine seller.
Are tangerines just the military version of fruit?
No. There's got to be. Yeah, there's gotta be something that has marine more distinctly in it. Because it would have to be the tangerine.
No, honestly, military fruit would be the star fruit because they collect all the stars on their collars.
They're only a 1-star general, though.
Yeah, but you've got.
Yeah, are they available at a 1-star general store?
And this is how you get a tangent, by asking who the tangerine seller is.
But okay, I think we're back from ad.
Okay.
I think.
We'll see.
Okay. And let's get back to the show.
This is Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR News Quiz. I'm Bill Curtis. We're playing this week with Negin Farsad, Eugene Cordero, and Shane O'Neill. And here again is your host at the Studebaker Theater in Chicago, Illinois, Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Bill. In just a minute, Bill performs his hit Broadway show, Rhyme-A-Lot, in our Listener Limerick Challenge. If you'd like to play, give us a call at 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924. Right now, panel, though, some more questions for you from the week's news. Eugene, President Macron of France has decided to publicly protest somebody who has announced their intention to leave that country. Who is it?
Oh, I don't know. Who's leaving France on purpose?
Well, specifically, they'll be leaving Paris.
Oh,
she has to be in Paris because it's right in the title, In Paris.
Oh, you know this.
Don't you play straight with me, Eugene.
Emily?
Yes.
Yes, Emily in Paris.
Don't you play straight with me.
Emily in Paris is, of course, the hit Netflix show about a clueless American woman in Paris that Americans watch because they hate it, and French people watch because they hate Americans. And the producers announced that for the 5th season, Emily will move to Rome, and that cannot be. The French national motto is Liberté, Égalité, Emily. And Macron, the president of the country, weighed in. He told Variety magazine, quote, Emily in Paris and Rome doesn't make any sense. And he's right. I mean, how is she supposed to find the time with her social schedule to also not learn Italian?
Well, I mean, what are the incentives for Emily to stay? Is Macron offering bigger hats, more clashing patterns? These are the things Emily needs to sustain herself.
Well, I know. Did she go through every meet cute possibility with Frenchmen that she now has to go to Italian men? Is that what's happening?
Apparently, she had gotten down to the Frenchmen who wear pajamas outside. She had to move on, I guess. Eugene, nobody likes a person who brags about themselves all the time.
You should be offering pastries.
Macron?
Yeah, you know those little meringue cookie things.
Macron?
Yeah, them.
Oui?
We're not doing this.
Okay.
Wie geht's du? Guten Tag.
Que diga mi madre.
Very good movie. Quote a very good movie. I only speak 2 languages, English and bad English.
Fine.
Je ne peux pas français.
No, I do not speak French.
Exactly.
But sometimes you need to let people know about all the great things you've done. So how do you do it? According to experts, the key is while you are bragging, you also need to do what?
Is that like a humble brag? Like
sort of. It's related, but it's a different style of bragging that they say is more successful.
Add a joke?
Yes, be funny. Very good, Eugene.
Thanks. You ever thought of that?
Okay.
A team of researchers found that being funny and playful while boasting about your accomplishments helps you stay likable.
We're comedians.
As you also convey
We
confidence.
all
They call
internalize this.
humor bragging.
Oh, I think it's also the thing Elon Musk thinks he's doing.
Yes. In one of the studies they did, this was social science, ladies and gentlemen, they sent out a serious resume to a bunch of employers, and then they sent out the same resume with an added joke. And that joke was, quote, the more coffee you can provide, the more output I will produce. And it got 25% more responses. But of course, they were all just people writing and saying, did you just apply for a job with a poop joke? Well, if you're looking for a job, everybody, don't write successfully managed a team of 5 to increase sales by 20% or something. Write, what's the deal with the increased sales from that team I manage?
I increased profits in Q4. Aren't you glad I didn't say banana?
Hired.
I'm embarrassed, but like I used to have in special skills on my resume for the 2.5 minutes that I was trying to be a real person with a job. Languages, French, Farsi, Pig Latin, or something stupid like that. And like no one, I mean, maybe that's why I'm now in this fate that I have.
By the way, this is important, and this was part of the study. They tried this. Self-deprecating humor doesn't work.
Not good.
Oh,
Because
then what are you supposed to do?
Well, it comes across as either insincere, or if insincere, you're downplaying your own achievements. So don't be like, oh, I won the Nobel Prize for Economics. I know, gross, blah, nerd.
Yeah.
Coming up, it's Lightning Fill in the Blank, but first it's the game where you have to listen for the rhyme. If you'd like to play on air, call or leave a message at 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924. You can catch us most weeks, including some Halloween night fun, right here at the beautiful Studebaker Theater in Chicago.
Humor
and we'll be back at the Fox Theater in Detroit on November 14th. For tickets and information, go to nprpresents.org and check out this week's How to Do Everything podcast featuring, and I kid you not, Sir Patrick Stewart mooing like a cow.
Say what
Hi,
now?
Aaron, wait, don't tell me.
Hi, this is Quinn Duffy from Glastonbury, Connecticut.
Glastonbury, Connecticut. What do you do there?
I just got whiplash from those 3 things happening at once.
Yep. I'm still kind of stuck on Patrick Stewart mooing like a cow.
Yeah. We have to figure out what that is and find it.
Later.
I'm a civil
later,
engineer.
not
I work
right
for
now.
the state of Connecticut.
And I kid you not, Sir Patrick Stewart's weeks, including some Halloween night fun, right here at the beautiful Studebaker Theater in Chicago. And we'll be back at the Fox Theater in Detroit on November 14th. For tickets and information, go to nprpresents.org and check out this week's How to Do Everything podcast featuring, and I kid you not, Sir Patrick Stewart mooing like a cow.
Okay, so that's what we're doing
Hi,
Saturday.
this is Quinn Duffy from Glastonbury, Connecticut.
Glastonbury, Connecticut? What do you do there?
I'm a civil engineer. I work for the state of Connecticut.
Oh, really? Oh, I always love talking to civil engineers because you're one of the few jobs, not having one myself, that I can understand. You build stuff like bridges and highways, right?
Yeah, yep. I did bridges for the majority of the beginning of my career, and now I do like railroad stations and rail adjacent facilities.
Wow, you do railroad stations. You ever stand in front of one and wait for people to compliment it and then just go, yeah, that's mine.
What are rail adjacent
Yeah, they mostly just walk by and on their way.
Oh, it's a shame. Well, I'm very impressed by what you do. Welcome to the show, Quinn. Bill Curtis is going to read you 3 news-related limericks with the last word of phrase missing from each. If you can fill.
What?
I'm certain that a bridge too far will be put in somewhere in her 2 weeks' notice.
Yep.
In that last word or phrase correctly on 2 of the limericks, you will be a winner.
One.
You ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, here's your first limerick.
As little kids walk down the blocks, they wear squishy kicks without socks.
Crocs.
As they're pounding the
Crocs.
street, it's deforming their feet. They're unhealthy, these shoes we call...
Crocs,
I
yes.
listened
We all
to the news
love
report
Crocs
earlier in the week.
because they're comfortable and great for our feet, which you're now told they're also destroying. Some
parents
podiatrists
literally
say that
said
young children should not
they're
wear
not so
Crocs because
damaging
they lack
that
arch
it's worth
support,
fighting with
could
your kid
cause
about it.
gait issues, and if your kid's foot grows inside the Croc, it'll look like one of them forever.
Okay, as someone who has been croc-pilled, I love Crocs. Are we sure these are deformities and not just the next step of human evolution?
Maybe. I'm a big fan of Crocs.
Love Crocs. I resisted for years. I know how they look. I know they're terrible, but I'm one of those jerks where just, I saw Balenciaga do it, and I said, what the hell? And oh my God, there's no going back. There's no going back.
You're using Kamala's campaign slogan for Crocs.
We will not go
Are you
back.
okay?
Here is your next limerick.
The smoothie stand down by the ocean front gets requests that just might make the owner grunt.
Okay, I'm back.
A tangy hint
Can we
of the
restart this one?
spritz that belongs on armpits.
Here is your next limerick, Quinn.
The smoothie stand down by the ocean front gets requests that just might make the owner grunt. A tangy hint of the spritz that belongs on armpits. Make a smoothie that
Deodorant.
tastes like...
Oh my God.
It's a tough one.
It is.
I was reading along going, this isn't working. But there are some, we'll tell you what, we'll have Bill do it again. Listen for that
Thank you.
rhyme-like thing that's happening.
Slant rhyme,
And there
it's not
is a
true
hint.
rhyme.
Armpits is a hint. Here we go.
The smoothie stand down by the ocean front gets requests that just might make the owner grunt. A tangy hint of the spritz that belongs on armpits. Make a smoothie that tastes like
Oh, dear God, I have no idea.
There's no way in the world you would ever guess this just logically, which is kind of why we're featuring it. I'll give it to you. It's deodorant.
Deodorant. Okay.
Deodorant.
Yeah, never would have got that.
Yeah,
straight.
no, we would have been here all day. It's all right. Deodorant. A fancy LA health food store just announced a new smoothie that tastes like deodorant. Strong enough for a man, smoothie enough for a woman. The store is known for its $20 smoothies. And for this one, they partnered with an upscale deodorant brand called Salt and Stone. So if you've ever sniffed your own armpit and said, wow, I wish this was edible and had 1,500 calories, this is your moment. Here is your last limerick.
New viruses are an uncouth mush. That they go in my mouth makes the youth blush. We have found brand new germs that are making us squirm. In the bathroom, right here on my...
Brush?
Yes, toothbrush, yes.
Yeah, you did it.
I was going to say deodorant.
Scientists at Northwestern University discovered hundreds of different viruses on used toothbrushes, even though they claim that none are harmful to people. Okay, then why would you even bring this up?
Yes.
This was part of a scientific exploration called, really, Operation Potty Mouth, to find microbes that live around us in daily life. And it turns out there are uncounted numbers of microbe species in our toothbrushes and showers and toilets that have never been discovered before.
I mean, I feel like it makes me feel less lonely in the world.
Exactly.
You know that
Exactly.
there are
I
thousands
choose to
of
look at it
new
like that.
species.
We're never quite alone,
In a weird way. Bill, how did Quinn do on our quiz?
2 out of 3. Good for another bridge.
Yay, Quinn!
Take me to the bridge.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. This has been a childhood dream of mine.
I'm so glad. Thank you, Quinn, for playing. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, so
This message comes from Noom. Using psychology and biology focuses on progress creators by
on business. Everyone could use more
to answer as many fill-in-the-blank questions as they can. Each correct answer
solutions so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Now on to our final game, Lightning
You
Fill in the
guys
Blank.
ready?
Each of our players will have 60 seconds in which to answer as many fill-in-the-blank questions as they can. Each
Peanut
correct answer is
gallery,
worth
shout
2
loud.
points. Bill,
Be
can you give
loud.
us the scores?
Eugene and Nagin each have 3, and Shane has 2.
All right, Eugene and Nagin are therefore tied for first, and Shane is in second place. So, Shane, you will be up first. The clock will start when I begin your first question. Fill in the blank. Asserting it harms children's mental health, 14 states have filed a suit against social media app blank.
TikTok.
Right. This week, Jessica Campbell became the first ever female coach in the blank.
NBA.
No, NHL. Since entering the presidential race in July, blank has raised over $1 billion.
Kamala Harris.
Yes. Transportation campaigners who are trying to keep Cybertrucks out of the Czech Republic say the cars are, quote, too blank for European roads.
Ugly.
That's right. They say too big and too sharp. On Tuesday, blank once again raised ticket prices for their theme parks.
Six Flags?
Disney
No,
World?
Disney, it must be.
It was Disney. Yes, on Wednesday, Rafael Nadal announced his upcoming
say it,
retirement
Will?
from blank.
Tennis.
Yes. This week, a staff member at a museum in the Netherlands had to apologize for throwing away 2 crushed beer cans without realizing they were blank.
Installation art.
Yes, they were. According to the artist, the 2 empty beer cans that were placed inside a transparent elevator shaft symbolized, quote, precious moments with my friends, unquote. So an elevator technician was like, oh, and he picked them up and he threw them out. Fortunately, they were recovered completely unharmed. And now that engineer has a really great excuse the next time he's sitting around having a beer. I'm not drinking in the job, I'm making art. Bill, how did Shane
I'm
O'Neill
not
do?
cleaning
in
that
Hard
up.
to
It
beat.
could be
6
art.
right, 12 more points. 14 is the total and the lead.
All right. Nagin, I'm going to arbitrarily choose you to go next. Here we go. Fill in the blank. On Monday, a new report showed that in 2020, Donald Trump promised a secret shipment of COVID-19 testing equipment to blank.
Vladimir Putin.
Who else? Yes. On Tuesday, the union representing over 30,000 striking airplane mechanics said that talks with blank have broken down.
Boeing?
Right. This week, the National Weather Service warned that an intense blank could disrupt satellite operations.
Solar shower.
Yes. On Monday, the largest water utility company in the U.S. said it was the target of a blank attack.
Cyber attack?
Right. This week, a woman in Washington State who spent decades feeding raccoons outside her home called 911 because blank.
They
invaded
attacked her.
Yes, her house was overrun with 100 hungry raccoons. Thursday, human rights advocate.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Kat?
I said that they invaded.
I'll give it to you. Did you say anything, Peanut Gallery?
Nope.
Okay.
The widow of blank passed away at 96.
Kennedy?
Carter.
Which one? There have been a lot.
Like one of the main ones?
It was Robert Kennedy Sr. This week, a beach cleanup crew in Denmark who posed for photos with what they thought was a 4-foot-long sea snake have since learned it was, in fact, blank.
A toy.
No, a giant attached whale penis.
I'm sorry. Did you say attached or detached?
I said detached.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if you didn't see the rest of that whale.
Yeah. The two men posted the photo before realizing what they were actually holding. It's an understandable mistake, but it doesn't explain why passengers on that flight from Sydney to Tokyo voted to look at the picture for 2 hours instead of watching Inside Out 2. Bill, how did Nagin do in our quiz?
5 right, 10 more points, total of 13. She trails Shane by 1.
And how many does Eugene need to win?
6 to win.
Here we go, Eugene. This is for the game. Fill in the blank. On Tuesday, the U.S. government hinted they may break up search giant blank.
Google.
Right. This week, the CDC confirmed a 4th case of blank flu in California.
Swine?
No, bird flu. On Wednesday, sources said that North Koreans were fighting alongside Russians in blank.
In Ukraine?
Right. This week, police confirmed that a suspicious package left outside a news station in Baltimore was blank.
A bomb?
Just an old toilet.
Aw.
On Wednesday, pop star blank donated $5 million toward hurricane relief efforts.
Oh, that's sweet. Taylor Swift?
Right. On Friday, South Korean author Han Kang was awarded the blank prize for literature.
Oh, the Nobel Peace.
Yes. This week, a court in South Korea ruled that a man couldn't be charged with drunk driving because he blanked after getting pulled over.
Made it art?
No, chugged an entire bottle of alcohol.
Yes.
According to the cops who pulled him over, the
that one.
60-year-old man got out of the car and immediately pulled out a bottle of liquor and drank the whole thing. And this week, a court ruled that because he had drank so much immediately after he was pulled over and was out of the car, any breathalyzer test would be invalid.
I tried to pull this.
Pretty
I tried
smart.
to use this, but it didn't
I mean,
work.
how could you know what his blood alcohol level was when he had just swapped out all of his blood for alcohol?
Right?
Yeah.
Have a good
Writing
stream.
that down
Inc.
for the future.
You bet.
I'll be
Bill,
lurking
did
in your
Eugene
stream in a
do
bit,
well enough to win?
probably.
Shane, no, he did not. Shane is
Just no. Just no. Don't even bother giving the score. Just move on.
Shane is the winner this week.
Congratulations, Shane. Now, coming up, our panelists will predict, now that the blue zones have been debunked, what will be the next thing to be revealed as a hoax. But first, let me tell you, Wait, Don't Tell Me is a production of NPR and WBEZ Chicago in association with Urgent Haircut Productions, Doug Berman, Benevolent Overlord. Philip Goedeke writes our limericks. Our public address announcer is Paul Friedman. Our tour manager is Shane Donald. Thanks to the staff and crew at the Studebaker Theater. BJ Liederman composed our theme. Our program is produced by Jennifer Mills, Miles Dornbos, and Lillian King. Special thanks to Blythe Robertson and Monica Hickey. This week, Peter Gwynn escaped. Look out! Emma Choi is our vibe curator. Technical direction is from Lorna White. Our CFO is Colin Miller. Our production manager is Robert Newhouse. Our senior producer, that's Ian Chillog.
Right.
And the executive producer of Wait, Don't Tell Me is Michael Danforth. Now, panel, what would be the next big hoax to be revealed? Eugene Cordero.
That your OnlyFans account that you follow, that person actually does like you.
Oh. Nagin Farsad.
The commonly held belief that if you step on a crack, you'll break your mother's back is in fact untrue. You can step on multiple cracks.
And Shane O'Neill.
Tim Walz is actually a bachelor from Mississippi.
Well, if any of that happens, we'll ask you about it on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Thank you so much, Bill Curtis. Thanks to Eugene Cordero, Nagin Farsad, Shane O'Neill. Thanks to our fabulous audience here at the Studebaker Theater in downtown Chicago. And thanks to all of you out there for listening wherever you are. I am Peter Sagal. We'll see you next week. This is NPR.
This message.
All right, so the scores are Peanut Gallery, you have 18. You showed really strong in the lightning round because you managed to shout out your answers at the same time that Kat and I were shouting out ours. And you and Kat both had a stronger showing than I did in the bonus round, in the lightning round. By one answer.
Oh.
But there were a bunch that I just didn't answer that you both got. There were a bunch that I got that you guys didn't get, but there were a bunch that you both got that I didn't. That caught you up with me in there. But, Kat, because you had a pretty good score there on the rest of the game, you came in with 23 points.
Nice.
Which put us at a tie at 23 points.
Very nice.
So that was pretty cool. Yeah, I had 2 more points in the regular game than you did, and you had 1 more bonus point than I did. And that bonus point's worth 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you for playing. It is just about time for us to call in the fire and piss on the dogs. Thank you guys both for being here. Thank you guys for playing along. Thank you, Code Inc., for being in the chat. Thank you, Lockpick. Thank you... Who was in the chat before Lockpick?
That was pretty much it.
Somebody early on.
Mm.
Oh, no. It was Lockpick, then Code.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much. Much love. Now is the time on the show when I say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down, VA, double deuces. We're out, y'all.